Don't you love it when corporate greed ruins your favourite things? Blockchain tech is infiltrating the gaming sector at a dramatic rate. They're soaring in popularity as more money gets poured into them, as of 2023 anyway. So with that being said, is blockchain gaming actually the future? Blockchain games are games built on the foundations of the blockchain. Wow. Meaning that they're made to heavily incorporate crypto and NFTs in them as the main focal point, with the game on top. To implement this, most games use a play-to-earn model, which is basically where the game has a free/small entry fee, and then you play the game to earn and acquire NFT collectibles, think like skins or trading cards, stuff along those lines. You can then trade and sell these items to other people for cryptocurrency, or money. This doesn't sound all too different to some games we already play now. If any of you have played games with microtransactions like CSGO, I'm sure this sounds rather familiar, in that you can earn cases which can then open with real money, and then sell those items to other people for real money. Sports games like FIFA have trading cards and digital currencies. FIFA also has a mass epidemic of underage gambling addiction, but that's for another time. So what's actually different about these games as opposed to your standard games then? Well, unlike your standard games, the items you own on these blockchain games you actually own on the blockchain, although it's more so a link to the item on a server that you own. The idea behind this is that if the service goes down or ceases to exist, that asset still does and can still be traded with people. Compare this to your normal games. Even if you in theory own the item, the developer still has full control over it and can revoke it whenever they want at the end of the day. And if the servers go down, you've lost it all. So yeah, it sounds like blockchain gaming is better in almost every way. It's a net win. Well, not exactly. You see, crypto doesn't exactly have the best reputation. We've all seen the stories of how FTX collapsed or how many various creators and celebrities have scammed their own fans with schemes. Why should we put our faith in these sort of games and support them? They're fighting an uphill battle and currently losing. Blockchain gaming has way too many issues to be taken seriously right now in my opinion. All the devs seem to be all bark and no bite, over-promising and under-delivering. Like, how's your 5-man team with stolen artwork really going to make the next COD killer? It's just not going to happen, is it? I also feel like the entire crypto game is somewhat predatory, with only the people with excessive cash or the ones who pretend they stack funds in lump sums actually benefiting from it, selling a pipe dream to those who don't live that same life as them. 90% of these crypto gurus are actually just Twitter grifters. They aren't the next Wolf of Wall Street, they're just rent-a-millionaires posing with someone else's Aventador in Dubai. They also exclusively play golf because of course they do. They're so out of touch and they believe that everyone needs to join in on the Web3 revolution. In the gaming sector, it's been proven time and time again that gamers don't like NFTs, or crypto whatsoever. Discord announced Ethereum integration, Ubisoft had the Quartz program, and Minecraft server owners were implementing NFTs into their own servers. What do these three have in common? They all folded as a result of backlash from communities. Gamers hate nothing more than microtransactions. Unless you play COD, then women top that list. I don't think it also helps the case either when these games are crypto first, game last. Not a single blockchain game actually looks fun to play, which is sort of the idea for a game. All these blockchain games look genuinely awful. I challenge you to find a good blockchain game. Send me a message if you do. From what it seems like, these games are focusing entirely on shilling their in-house token, rather than having a replayable game. Have a look at the teams who make these games. Most of them are just business people who have zero game dev knowledge. They just outsource the game for peanuts and bolt on the microtransactions after. Also, this idea I've seen floating around that Web3 devs have proposed, where you will be able to use your skins and items across different games, is absolutely insane. And I would go as far as saying it's a straight up lie. Game devs aren't going to want to allow you to share your purchases on other companies' games, or be able to use others on their own game. No, they want you to keep you on their own product. It makes no sense. Secondly, I don't think these TikTok ballers understand that these games are built on these things called engines, that have different ways of doing everything, from how they show graphics and models to the line of physics. Every game would have to be on the same engine to even make this a possibility. In turn, this would ruin a ton of games. Imagine playing Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare on the Frostbite engine. It just wouldn't work. To think that this is a selling point some Web3 bros actually say, it's laughable. What also doesn't help the case is that a lot of these blockchain games are essentially pay to win. The amount of money you have to sink in to even be able to gain some noticeable returns is absurd. A lot of people have play to earn mixed up with play to make a living, if you ask me. The idea that you can make a living by just clicking is nothing short of a dream unless you're at the top skill-wise. Making a living out of games with live economies requires you to actually contribute. Take Roblox for example, you have to make games for people to play and spend money on to make a living. These play-to-earn games are sort of like you'd spend an hour on them after work with some disposable cash and maybe get a small return. They're not main income material. Saying that, Some people do actually play these pay-to-earn games hours on end to make their living. I saw this thing where people in countries suffering hyperinflation will play these games to support their families. It's quite depressing, but it's also good for them in that they can live. Not sure if this is a plus for blockchain games though, as it's seen in these places as a necessary measure to put food on the table. Not so much a leisurely activity for them, rather like a full-time job. That's all I've really got to say in terms of the games themselves. If they were to become mainstream though, I think they've got bigger issues coming that they don't currently have a fix to. Take exploitation and cheating for example. People will set up farms of devices just to play that game, combine all the tokens earned and have a monopoly. Some savvy players may hire other people to do the farming for them in a place where labour's cheap. The person who hires pockets the majority of the gains, similar to how companies have been doing that in real life now for years. In every free-to-play game, cheating is a huge problem. How will these play-to-earn games prevent cheating? No anti-cheat is impenetrable, bypasses will always happen, and when real money is involved it's pretty much guaranteed that cheating will be its own job title. Is there any way that cheating can be prevented? In theory, yeah, there's multiple ways, each of them having immense drawbacks. One is that these devs perform KYC when you open your account. This sort of goes against the whole anonymity thing that crypto has going for it. The other is that these games are run through locked-down cloud machines, think something like the Google Stadia. This has the drawback of each game probably requiring their own sandbox to prevent cross-scripting. This method would require mass storage and bandwidth and quick internet to stream without latency, so it would be quite expensive to run. Can it be done? Yeah. Is it practical and cost effective? Not really. Overall, I don't think blockchain gaming is the future for multiple reasons. At this moment in time anyway, in the future it may become more of a possibility. But as of right now, I just don't think it can happen. If you disagree with me, don't call me poor or say that I just don't understand it. Let's have an actual discussion. If you like the video, what is it? Subscribe, yeah, that's it. And buy my coin, buy my cryptocurrency, buy